Look at that. I am inside the slide. As I go through different slides, I can see myself there. I can move myself around. I can make myself bigger. And the audience will see me exactly like this in Zoom. Hello, my name is David Benaim, and I love to do videos on all sorts of technology. So check out this one, how to immerse yourself in your own slides, as well as do some other cool tricks when it comes to presenting yourself in slides. So this is a brand new feature that just came out. I'm going to stop it and then start it again. So I've got one view from my mobile and one from a web browser, and I'm going to go through these possibilities for this. Note that if you are going to make this happen, you need to be on the version 5.2 on the Zoom application, which is a feature that just got released on the 4th of August, so very, very recently. So if I go to share screen, you have your basic options, but now you have in advanced, you have PowerPoint as a virtual background. That's what they've called it. Not sure I agree with what that should be, but if you share, you need to browse to it. So you can't do it with an existing open file. You need to browse to it. Generally, I like to do it in the quick access. Honestly, I don't like these browser windows because you can't just copy and paste a file path. You need to navigate to it manually. So unless it's in your quick access, it's not particularly convenient. But this is a beta version, so it is coming soon. There you go. Now I have shared it, and this is it. This is what you need to do. Then you can resize yourself. You can navigate through the slides like this. And you can also click here and choose to split video from your PowerPoint. Then you're just in the normal view. Right now I can't see it, but if I make myself bigger like that, then I'm just released. But if I click back here, I can merge it back. And there I am. Yep, resize, all super, super simple. It does a really good job at taking out your background, and if I walk away, then it does a pretty decent job as well. Sometimes it doesn't get the full area, but there you go. It's not bad for my body as well. So that's pretty good. I really like what they've done there. If you use PowerPoint, you can only progress the slides this way. Videos and GIFs at the moment do not work. Neither do any transitions or animations or sound. I have a lot of animations here. I also have some action buttons. I also have, this is a clickable slide menu using the section zoom feature. Nothing to do with the Zoom application, it's a PowerPoint feature. And then I'm using the morph technique as well. None of these work. Let's see how this presentation looks in the PowerPoint itself. So I'm going to go into PowerPoint, and if I navigate here, these are all pretty normal, but then I have a transition there, and these are a clickable slide menu here. So here I can click on number 3 to go there, click on number 5 to go there. This is using the PowerPoint section zoom feature. I've got another video on, and as you can see, as I go into it, it auto plays a GIF or a video in all of these instances. That is another transition. And then I'm using the morph transition here, when I get from object to object like that, slide to slide. And then these are animations, recoloring them or changing things there. So yeah, unfortunately this stuff doesn't work for now, but I imagine it's a feature that's coming soon. Also videos, that doesn't work either. So that's how it is in PowerPoint. Also note that if you are presenting with PowerPoint and you're currently editing the same slide presentation, it doesn't showcase the differences live. So to be more specific, if I'm in this slide and I'm in slideshow mode, I go from there and I can lock in, and you see this beautiful animation that happens from one slide to another. So this is a transition called the morph transition, which in my mind completely replaces the need for almost every animations in this tab. Not that I like using transitions mostly, but you can do all sorts of things. For example, if you duplicate a slide, you can take an object, you can rotate it, you can take this shape, I can reshape it, I can change the color and outline, whatever it is. I can change the font of this into something completely different like that. And then if I go to the transitions tab and I apply morph, look at that. Look how seamlessly it goes from one to another. I have another full video where I talk about morph because it is just such an amazing feature. But let me move on for now. It doesn't work with animations. So these things here, any of the animations in this tab, I don't tend to use them very often. It also doesn't work with the zoom thing here. This has nothing to do with the zoom program. This is PowerPoint's feature that is a slide zoom. I really love this feature. It allows you to create a table of contents of your slide. So just to showcase that, if I go to the top of my slides, I can choose insert zoom and summary zoom. I click on where my section headers are. I love this feature so much. I've got 6, works really well with 6. It arranges them nicely. Give it a header. And then if I go to slideshow mode from this slide, I can navigate to any one of these like a table of contents. I click through that. It can even autoplay a video or a GIF if that's in there. But I can go from one to another, and it has this really nice animation. Once you scroll through all of your slides, it comes back to it like that, which is pretty nice as well. So yeah, that's the zoom. I have another video where I talk about that as well. The other thing that doesn't work is using these live type in slideshow mode presentation text boxes, where you are able to type or edit these boxes when you're in presentation slideshow mode. Another feature that I love using, but these are not available when you do this feature in Zoom. An annoyance that you might find is that you have a duplicate of yourself there. To avoid that, you can click here and choose to hide self view. If there's no other participants, it will minimize that. Otherwise, it will just show them there. But in any case, if you just double click on the slide, you can get rid of the menu commands like that. You probably want to minimize that there. So yeah, if you double click, you get to that. And then eventually the controls go away. If you hover over, they come back. And if you navigate, you can see show self view to bring it back there. Notice that the virtual background means that in my view of my actual thing, it's showing me with whatever I have behind me. So yeah, if you do it like this, that can be confusing, particularly if someone is using a web version or an earlier version of Zoom, as we'll see in a second. So back to Zoom. If you want to be able to get your updates for Zoom, then you're able to check for updates in the regular Zoom platform through here. You can choose over this dot, which is your profile, and then you can choose check for updates. So it will check if you have any updates, and it will say I'm on the latest update. Otherwise, it will prompt me to download and install updates. If I want to get to know what they are, click on the release notes over here. Let me show you what it looks like if someone doesn't have the latest PowerPoint. So if you're logging in from a web browser, or if you use something else, then it doesn't immerse you in it. So if I go back to my Zoom and I navigate to a slide like this, that is sort of blending it. If I go back here, it is just making me pick it up, and it just shows me the background of wherever I happen to be, which is not a great experience. It just works pretty poorly like this. So try and avoid doing that if you are going to use this feature, and be aware that this will only work well with people with the latest version. If you look here, this is the explanation of what happens. It says the presenter requires version 5.2.0, and also the viewer requires it. It does work with Android and iOS though. I have tested it and that works pretty well. it goes through it there. Another thing that I don't particularly like is that you need to manually click on these to progress back and forth. There's no keyboard shortcut at the moment to do that. There's no other way to do that, which is a shame because I'm used to things like using a clicker or using other features won't necessarily allow that. With this new release. So you've always had to choose a virtual background. Now you can choose a video filter as well. So a video filter, this goes from being, you know, kind of Instagrammy, sort of changing the colors like that, to being Snapchatty and kind of ridiculous. That you probably wouldn't want to use in a real business meeting, but you might want to use, oh, there's a little face mask. Notice how it moves a little bit as I move my mouth like that. But yeah, not something I would really bother using. Although here's some other cool features in video. You can do touch up my appearance, and that used to just be an on-off. Now you can actually do a toggle for how many blemishes you want it to get rid of for you, like that. And this is new, adjust for low light. I really like this actually. You can either have auto or you can have manual and then use the scroller to then go from nothing to maximum. Don't do it maximum, that's a little bit too much, but that's how it is without. It's quite dark in this room, and that is how to make it a little bit brighter for your other people to see you. Yeah, cool. So that is what I wanted to show you there with some new features for Zoom. All right, well, if you like this video, then I have plenty more on not only Zoom, but also Microsoft Teams, Excel, PowerPoint, Power BI, Outlook, all sorts of tools that you use in the office. So please consider subscribing if you want more content like this. Thanks for watching.